Hi, I'm Kanupriya Sharma and I welcome you to this video solution by GMATQuizMaster. We are now going to discuss a hard flaw OG question, which is hard because the four incorrect answer choices, yes, all four incorrect answer choices are almost equally popular. Why? This question tests your understanding of the relationship between percentages and absolute numbers, something which is very commonly tested and in which a lot of students usually falter. The question here is, can a percentage reduce even if the absolute number remains same or increases? Not sure? Let's break it down and understand. Let's start with passage analysis. Airline representative. So, airline representative is the author here. The percentage of flight delays caused by airline error decreased significantly this year. So, we are talking about percentage of flight delays, and these are specifically the ones that were caused by airline error. So, let's write AE here. Decreased significantly this year, which means that if this year is 2025, last year was 2024. So if we compare these two, then if it was, let's say, 50% last year, it is 10% now. So there is a clear reduction here, a significant reduction. Notice that this is a fact that has been given. Let's read further. This reduction indicates that airlines listened to complaints about preventable errors and addressed the problems. So, the airline representative is saying that this reduction indicates, so this is an opinion of the airline representative, this is an opinion that this reduction is there, this is a fact, but the opinion is that this reduction indicates that the preventable errors were addressed and they were reduced. Now, preventable errors can be said to be the airline errors. The airline caused the errors, that is the preventable errors. So, the airline representative here is saying that this reduction indicates that if, let's say, they were making 50 errors in 2024, it reduced to 10 errors in 2025. I've taken the same number as percentages. So this is the absolute number of errors caused by airlines. All right. Although delays caused by weather and other uncontrollable factors will always be part of the travel. So now this talks about the other reasons for delays. So one is the airline error, that is the preventable error. The other is the delays caused by uncontrolled factors. So they will always be part of the travel. So the airline representative is not saying that these delays have increased or reduced or stayed the same. It is just saying that number of delays due to uncontrollable factors, it remains, it exists, it has not it is not it has not been eliminated, it exists. Preventable delays are clearly decreasing. So here again the same thing, the delay because of airline error or the preventable ones, these errors are decreasing. So if they were, let's say, 50 in 2024, they are 10 in 2025, and this is the conclusion. The same thing has been concluded, that because the airline the percentage flight delays are reducing here, this indicates that the number of these preventable errors is also reducing. Now, in order to understand this passage logic better, let's understand what this percentage flight delays means, right? So, percentage flight delays caused by airline error would be what? It would be the number of delays caused due to airline error divided by the number of delays caused by airline error plus number of delays caused by uncontrollable factors. So, this is the formula for percentage flight delays that are caused by airline errors. The what we know is that this has reduced. Now, if this has reduced, what could possibly be happening? One possible scenario is that the numerator, let me write here, the numerator has reduced. The denominator has not reduced as much, the numerator has reduced, which means the number of delays due to airline error has reduced. The other possibility is that the denominator has increased. The numerator has not increased as much, but the denominator has significantly increased. And when will that happen? That will happen if number of delays due to uncontrollable factors increases. Now, there are other combinations of the number of delays due to airline error and number of delays due to the uncontrollable factors. There are other combinations. However, we will need to have the exact numbers to get into that. For now, without the absolute numbers, we know that these two are definitely possible. If the numerator reduces, that is the number of delays due to airline errors reduces, or if the number of delays due to uncontrollable factor increases, that is the denominator increases. These two can lead to a reduction in the percentage of flight delays due to airline errors. The airline representative here, the author, is saying that this is the possible reason. This is why the percentage is reducing. What he has not considered is whether this, the second reason, the second possible reason, the airline representative has not eliminated the second possible reason. So the flaw here, the logical gap here, because the question asks us to point out the logical flaw in the representative's reasoning. The flaw here is that the representative has not considered this second scenario. It has not eliminated the second scenario. It has just considered one of the two possible scenarios to be the reason. So that is one of the possible flaws in the representative's reasoning. With that, let's quickly understand the passage structure once. Structure here. We know that airline representative is the author here. The first statement presents a fact, and I have explained it with with the help of an example here, that if it was 50% last year, it has reduced to 10% here. This is a fact given to us. The next statement presents author's opinion, and it presents the possible reason behind the reduction. In the last statement, the author has addressed the other reasons behind delay and said that these cannot be prevented and these will always be part of travel, and concluded that the preventable delays are decreasing. That is the conclusion. So, with that, let's upgrade our bridge table. So, if your understanding of the passage logic as well as the conclusion was correct, you can mark a tick here and move ahead. However, if your understanding was different, or if you missed something, or your understanding of conclusion was not correct, please mark a cross accordingly. Also, take a note of the exact reason where you faltered. Why the passage logic was not clear? Did you miss reading it, or did you not interpret it correctly, or you were not you were rushing through it, or regarding the conclusion, were you not able to identify what the correct conclusion is? Where the passage is talking about percentages, where the passage is talking about numbers, what is it exactly questioning? If any of that was not clear to you, please mark a cross here and write down that reason here. With that, let's move to understand what the correct answer choice should convey here. All right. So, what should the correct answer choice convey here? We need to find a logical flaw in the representative's reasoning. So, the correct answer choice should be something that indicates that preventable delays may actually not be decreasing. So, the information that is given by airline representative, it holds. Still, the preventable delays might not be decreasing. It may be the fact that the number of flight delays due to airline errors is reducing. It may be because of some other reason. Now, this is something that a correct choice will definitely convey, and this is something that you should be clear with before you start with answer choice analysis. If you are comfortable, you can go into thinking the scenarios which is again based on your understanding of the passage. So we discussed that the number of flight delays due to airline errors, it can reduce if the numerator reduces, that is the number of delays caused by airline errors reduces, which is what the airline representative is pointing at. The other possible reason is if the denominator increases significantly, which can happen if the number of delays due to uncontrollable factor increases. Now, there can be other factors also. You can think about the other factors, and this is about scenarios. So, these are all the scenarios that you are thinking of before you move to answer choice analysis. Thinking about or coming up with these scenarios is not an essential part for solving this question. It can help you understand the passage logic even better, but even if you can come up till this point, that you understand that the correct answer choice needs to convey that the preventable errors might not be reducing. Even if you understand it till that point, you can get to the correct answer choice. So, with that, let's move to answer choice analysis. Choice A. Airlines may be motivated by financial concerns to underreport the percentage of flight delays caused by airline errors. Now, this is one of the most popular incorrect answer choices, and there are multiple reasons why this choice is incorrect. First of all, it tells us that the percentage of flight delays that are being reported, that is, the percentage delays caused by airline error, that might not be correct. Airlines might be underreporting it. The first issue is that it is not about the specific year, because the entire argument is about the change between last year and this year, right? We know that the percentage reduced, percentage of flight delays due to airline error, it reduced. Now, whether this statement is applicable to 2024 as well as 2025 or just 2025, we do not know. If it is applicable to both the years, then it does not matter, because still there would be a reduction. If it is applicable just to this year, one thing it is not mentioned, even if it is applicable just to this year, it is not correct. And let me explain why. And that should have been the first reason to reject this answer choice. If, let's say, it is just applicable to 2025, that the numbers reported for 2025 are not reliable. So if this is 50% and this is 10%, it is saying that this 10% may not actually be correct. However, if that is true, if choice A applies to this particular year, it is challenging this fact given to us as premise, right? Because we have been given this as a fact that this percentage has reduced. Any choice that challenges the premise cannot be correct. So, choice A is incorrect. Instead of helping us evaluate whether the airline representative has interpreted this data properly, this choice is questioning the reliability of data that is given to us as premise. All right. So if you selected this answer choice, one thing is you did not notice that it is not about this specific year. It is a generic statement given to us. It may be applicable to every year, in which case it will not be effective at all. One reason. The second reason, you did not identify that this is a fact given to us. And any choice that challenges this fact, that challenges the premise, cannot be correct, right? Or you do not understand that the premise cannot be challenged itself, right? So these are some of the reasons why you could have selected choice A, and accordingly you should update your bridge table. So go to your bridge table, evaluate whether first of all you were able to identify what the correct answer choice needs to convey. If it was correct, mark a tick here, otherwise mark a cross here. If you were not sure what the correct answer choice needs to convey, it itself explains why you selected the incorrect answer choice. Otherwise also, for each choice you will be checking whether you were able to understand this choice properly or not. For example, were you able to understand choice A properly, what it conveys, first of all? And then if you were able to understand it and you knew what the correct answer choice needs to convey, then did you try to gauge the alignment? Did you confirm that choice A is actually conveying what the correct answer choice needs to convey? Here, does choice A convey that preventable errors might not be reducing? No, it does not. So you need to question yourself here, where did you falter, and you need to update the reasoning accordingly. Let's move to choice B now. Choice B, the delays caused by uncontrollable factors, so we are talking about delays caused by uncontrollable factors, could have led to an increase in complaints to airlines. So this choice is about an increase in number of complaints. However, in this formula that we wrote to understand how percentage of flight delays due to airline errors is calculated, is this number of complaints relevant? Is it affecting any of the parameters here, this one, or this one? The answer is no. There can be, if let's say there is one factor, there can be 10 complaints related to it. So if you work on this factor, if you resolve this factor, 10 complaints will be addressed. Or there can be 100 complaints related to this one factor, and again, resolving this one factor, acting on this one factor, can address these 100 complaints. So the number of complaints here is not relevant. So this choice is also incorrect. Now, if you selected this choice, you somewhere knew that the numbers, there is some change in numbers, right? An increase in some number may be leading to this reduction in flight delays due to airline error. It might not be just because of the number of preventable errors are reducing. So you had that kind of idea, but you did not simplify it. You did not check it properly. You did not understand it properly, that what the relevant factor actually is. You had a idea, you had an idea about it, but you did not understand it properly to get to the relevant factor, and that is why you fell in this trap of choice B. You selected an irrelevant answer choice. So accordingly, you need to update your bridge table whether your understanding of choice B was correct or not, and most likely you thought that it aligns with the with what the correct answer choice should say, but it was just that your understanding of choice B and of the relevant factors was not correct. That is why it is very important to understand the logic of the passage when you are reading the passage. The answer choice analysis becomes very easy and you will be more accurate with that. Let's move to choice C now. Choice C. Complaints may not be the most reliable measure of how many errors occurred in a given year. So this choice say that it may not be the right way to, the complaints may not be the right way to understand how many errors occurred in a given year. And this is something that we discussed in choice B also, that for one factor, there can be like 10 complaints or 100 complaints or even 1,000 complaints. So the number of complaints does not actually make us understand or give a clear picture of how many errors would have occurred. All right, however, is that relevant? Does it convey that okay, the preventable delays may not be decreasing? The answer is no, because we clearly know that this percentage of flight delays caused by airline error has decreased. This factor has reduced. This is a fact given to us. Whether complaints are a reliable measure or not is not relevant here. Even if they are not reliable, this factor is reducing, so it will be dependent on one of these factors. Right? It is still possible that the number of delays due to airline errors might be reducing, which is leading to this reduction. So, this choice is irrelevant to the passage logic. Now, if you selected this answer choice, again, it is because your understanding of the relevant factors was not correct here. What is relevant and what is not relevant? You tried to challenge the kind of foundation of the argument. However, your understanding of that foundation of the argument was not correct, and that is why you selected this incorrect answer choice. So, please update your bridge table accordingly. Let's move to choice D now. Choice D. Delays caused by weather and other uncontrollable factors. So, this is talking about delays due to uncontrollable factors could have increased dramatically during the year under discussion. So, this choice is saying that this reason number two that we discussed, it it is possible, it could have happened that this denominator could have increased because the number of delays due to uncontrollable factors could have increased, and in that way this choice points out something that indicates that preventable delays may not be decreasing, and that is why this choice points out a flaw in the argument used by airline representative and is the correct answer choice. If you rejected choice D, go back to your bridge table and mention clearly why you rejected the correct answer choice. It could be because you were already, you made up your mind with some other answer choice and you did not even evaluate it properly, or you did not understand it, or the passage. If any of these is incorrect, if you have a cross here, that will be one of the reasons why you rejected the correct answer choice. Other than that, just related to analysis of choice D, what was the reason why why you rejected this choice? That is something that you should add here. Let's move to choice E now. Airline customers might not believe that particular delays were caused by uncontrollable factors rather than airline error. Now, this choice talks about what the airline customers believe. But is that relevant? No, it is not relevant what the airline customers believe to be the reason behind the delay. We know for sure that percentage of flight delays due to airline errors has reduced. This is a fact given to us. So, what reason the airline customers believe is behind the delay is not relevant here. As long as this has reduced, which has reduced as it is given to us as fact, we need to understand what can be the factor that led to this reduction. This information, what airline customers believe to be the reason, it does not tell us that the preventable delays might not be reducing, and that is why this choice is incorrect. So if you selected this answer choice, you need to question yourself that what made you select this answer choice. You probably questioned the information that is given to us. You did not consider this information as a fact given to us, which happened irrelevant of what the airline customers believed. Also, this belief of airline customers does not affect these factors that define the percentage flight delays due to airline errors. So please update your bridge table accordingly. So we have now discussed this question and understood why the correct answer choice is correct and why the incorrect answer choices are incorrect. You also have your bridge table updated for this question, so you should be able to transfer this information into your error log. I hope with this explanation you will not falter in any other question which is based on the relationship between percentages and absolute numbers. I'm very sure you'll be able to break down these factors and understand what are the relevant terms there. Good luck.